hopefully mics work well today, that's what. I gotta tell you, not too many college campuses celebrate second place. But Randolph is not very ordinary, as we know, and neither is the ODAC Conference. And I want to tell you why, as it pertains to men's basketball in particular. We, on average, have 4 schools that are nationally ranked in the ODAC, and for Division III, that means that they're nationally ranked in the top 25 of about 425 schools across the country. So I think you would agree that's pretty darn special. This past weekend, we eliminated quite a few of them. On Friday, we defeated, I guess is a nicer word to say, defeated Guilford College, and last year they finished runner-up nationally against my alma mater. But nonetheless, they finished second in the nation last year. On Saturday, defeating Virginia Wesleyan, doesn't that sound good? They had finished as national title winners in 2006, and they were the runners-up in 2007. And on Sunday, with, in my opinion, sort of an interesting institutional, historic, ironic, it was ironic, on the floor going up against Randolph-Macon. We tricked a little bit there, but I got to tell you, the stands were actually filled with perhaps too much yellow and black, with them being there. But last year they had finished in the national championship in the top 4 in the country. So going up against that level of competition is quite astonishing, and our men did a terrific job. So let's give them a round. Throughout the year, I've got to tell you, it's been just a real treat serving as the AD. I had numerous people throughout the year, seek me out and would tell me what wonderful things their team has done, not only on the floor or their interactions with our coaching staff, but at this weekend in Salem, I stopped counting when it became 6 different people came up to tell me how great we were. They talked about our class, they talked about our grit, they talked about our determination, they talked about what a great coaching staff that we have, and it was just wonderful to be able to say, yep, you're right, we know that, we're good. And they did a wonderful job. They left it all out on the court, and I think there's no regrets. Would that be fair to say? Coach Nunley has said many times that in order to achieve this greatness, it takes great men with great character. And I saw that for myself that night that we were playing over at, that other school across town, which were renamed Nameless. And Malcolm had suffered his season-ending injury, which was hard for all of us to take. And I don't mean to embarrass Malcolm at this point, but it's a great story to demonstrate the character of our team. And after he suffered an injury, he gets back up on the bleachers. He's still sweating. He's trying to refocus. His knees packed in ice. Here comes little Garrison Tuggle, Keeley's son, who's 3 years old, has never met Malcolm in his life, offering him Skittles to make him Malcolm, and it could have been Malcolm, it could have been any one of our players. They had responded extremely well. They could have shoved that little guy off on the side and said, forget it, it's all about me. But we were trying to get refocused, and it was a great interchange between the two of them, and Malcolm even made sure he scooped up the Skittles that hit the bleachers so that Garrison didn't eat the dirty ones. But truly, any of our players would have done the exact same thing. And then you talk about character of our coaching staff, and that came through the following day with Coach Nunley. And we debrief every once in a while after our contest, and he was asking me if I heard what he said during the timeouts or during the game, and that made me a little nervous. Guys, I think you know what I mean. I thought, is he going to drill me about what offense we were running, or what did I think of the defense? But I knew he wouldn't care what I thought about that. But he wanted to know if any of the kids could hear him during the timeout, because I think he had a colorful word maybe that night. And he was just concerned about the kids being that close to be able to hear. So when you put those two together, it's without a doubt, we've got just a terrific team with wonderful character, and it takes that to achieve great things, whether it's second place in the ODAC or a national championship. So on behalf of Randolph, I want to say thank you to this team for representing us absolutely so well. Prior to our tournament last weekend, the conference sponsors a banquet for them, and our coaching peers, Coach Nunley's peers, afforded him the opportunity and named him Coach of the Year. And it's obvious why that was. And with that said, I know you don't want to hear from me anymore, so I'm going to turn it over to our 2011 ODAC Coach of the Year. Coach Nunley.
I told the team following the banquet, there's probably not an individual award that is more reflective of a team's efforts and a team's commitment than Coach of the Year. It was not my work, it was their work, it was the byproduct of their success. And I was very privileged to coach this group. I commend them for their commitment to one another, for their pursuit of common goals, for their selflessness, for their dedication and hard work, and for their not just for their willingness, but for their desire to go after big things. It did not take a lot of work on my part to get them to be focused, motivated, and understanding of the next challenge that was in front of them, whether it was this past weekend or any other point during the season. And obviously they were a special group for me. I would be remiss if I did not mention, while I am proud of what they've done on the court, I think it translates in other areas. Standing before you, you have a group that has over half the members that earned over a 3.0 grade point average last year. 5 members that were the 2011 ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. So very, from my standpoint, just very proud of them and the work that they do. I also want to express a deep gratitude to all of you who have supported us this year. I can't tell you how much that meant to our team, how much that meant to me. It was a pretty awesome thing for all of us to walk out of the locker room before the Randolph College game and see stands completely filled from one side to the other. And I can assure you that makes a big difference for us. And pretty neat to say this weekend, you know, we played Guilford College in the first round, and they were the defending tournament champions. And our crowd was twice as big and twice as loud. And then we played Virginia Wesleyan, who was the #1 seed in the tournament, and our crowd was twice as big and twice as loud. And then we played Randolph-Macon, who promotes themselves as having the greatest tradition in the league, and once again our crowd was twice as big and twice as loud. So it goes without saying that it's all meant a lot to us. We're very grateful to all of you for what you do and how you support us. And on that note, I'll turn it over real quickly to one of our seniors, one of our captains, Cameron Shepard.
Real quick, I think I just want to reiterate on what Coach Nunley said. Being one of the guys that started this program, we want to extend our gratitude and our thanks to you guys for being there for us, especially for our seniors being here for 4 years. You know, all the support you guys gave us, we really appreciate it. And I mean, one thing that we hope is that you guys will continue this, because you have 4 good guys leaving you, but you still have a great group of guys that are still going to be here. So I hope that you continue to support them. And Coach Nunley, I don't think you guys realize how great of a coach, and not only Coach Nunley, but Coach Wolfgang and our other coaches. I mean, we honestly believe we have the best coaching staff in the ODAC. And we as seniors have come to really appreciate our coaching staff. And we hope you guys appreciate it too, and thanks for all your support.
And with that said, we recognize
sort of treasure this. This is Malcolm's jersey number, so I'm glad to know I'm not going to be reminded by Malcolm every time I look at him, reminded by the 46. That's good to know.